Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Today's show is dedicated to investors that are seeking to purchase and protect their precious metals investments. Joining us today is the Chief Operating Officer of Miles Franklin Precious Metal Storage, Mr. Joel Kravitz. Joel manages the day-to-day operations of the precious metal storage programs for Miles Franklin. He is also licensed and has extensive knowledge in the precious metals industry. Joel, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Maurice. We appreciate the opportunity.
But before we begin today's discussion, I want to share with listeners a good piece of advice Rick Rule of Sprott Global Resource Investments shared with me with regards to storing your precious metals at home. And he stated, storing precious metals in your home invites people to your home that you normally wouldn't have over for dinner that want to replace your metals with their metal, which is lead. Joel, Rick's commentary has humor and truth to it. For first-time listeners, can you share who is Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investment?
Miles Franklin has been around for 27 years, going on 28 this year. We do have an A-plus rating on the Better Business Bureau all 27-plus years. We are licensed in the state of Minnesota, which is very different. We can go into that than the vast majority of the states out there. Miles Franklin buys metals, sells metals. We store in Canada through services provided by Brinks. We have opportunities and programs that other companies don't offer through our opportunities and our programs with Brinks Canada. And what we offer is segregated storage, safe deposit box storage, physical delivery to your home, metals shipped around the world. We import from Switzerland quite a bit for clients, whether to Canada or the U.S., so we offer a wide variety of services.
Well, thank you for conveying that. And for listeners, I just want to highlight 28 years of service and zero customer complaints. That's quite an accomplishment.
We appreciate that. That is correct. It is hard in any industry to keep an A-plus rating. The only thing you have to do is treat everyone the same, whether they're small or a large customer, and you have to insure your goods, you have to lock and hedge every order, and you have to fulfill what you say on your invoice that you're going to ship in the time frame you're going to ship. And if you do all that, you're covered.
Joel, you mentioned the licensing that is required annually by the state of Minnesota. Here at Proven and Probable, we too are licensed, as our homepage and menu bar proudly displays the Miles Franklin product lines. Also, at Proven and Probable, we've been very fortunate to not have only interviewed the most respected names in the natural resource space. I'm referring to Jim Rickards, Rick Rule, Doug Casey, Andy Scheckman, Bob Moriarty, David Morgan, Bill Murphy, Axel Merck, Mickey Fulp, and Giant Bandari. Now that's a handful of names. These are some of the world's financial elites, and they all share a common theme, and that is stewardship of precious metals. I'm often quoted as saying is, if you can't do in quantity what the elite do it in quality. Joel, share how simple it is to purchase precious metals from Miles Franklin.
Sure. Purchasing precious metals is as simple as a phone call, locking and hedging an order. And what that means, hedging an order, is it's very similar to buying a stock in the effect that when you lock it in with us, we are hedging the futures market through our account on your behalf in order to guarantee a price. That way we're able to get a wire from you or a check, or even a check by phone for an ACH withdrawal. And that allows the order to have gone through, and you know the price, we know the price. The same thing happens when you're selling. We hedge the market. It protects us both ways. We will never owe any more or any less for your order, and you will never owe any more or any less for your order. It's a fair handshake, as they call it. Once you purchase your metals, the option is to take delivery, which the vast majority of people do. Don't get me wrong, we love our storage program. Our programs are the best in the industry, but a lot of people feel that having it in hand is a bird in the hand. Many people do allocate a portion of those holdings or all of them to storage, just depending on their needs. And some things that happens when you store your metals differently than taking it home delivery is you have the insurance that you don't have at home, you have security that you don't have at home. Being liquid in your assets is very important. That you maybe have to sell these goods somewhere, ship them, take them somewhere. Maybe the U.S. markets aren't buying and selling gold in the future at some point in time, or they're registered or restricted differently than they are today. So having them outside the country quite often gives people a little bit of an insurance policy against maybe something that would happen in the United States, whereas it may not affect Canada or other countries around the world.
You know, right now, if you're in India or Venezuela, I can share with you right now, if you have precious metals, you certainly hope that you would have those metals diversified in a storage facility. You know, precious metals, they're a private investment. And if I don't wish to take delivery, or I already have a position in precious metals, and I want to geographically diversify, share how the Miles Franklin Precious Metals Storage Program can facilitate this process.
Sure. The advantage of working with a company who has a relationship already with an importer and us having the proper importing ability in Canada and United States, it gives clients the ability to be able to ship goods, say, from Zurich or even Liechtenstein, a little country outside of Switzerland. We pick up goods in Australia. We pick up goods all over the world for clients. They're insured. Quite often they're shipped by Brinks or through UPS if it's to the United States. But everything is shipped insured. It's always insured until it reaches the destination, whether we deliver it to the clients in the United States again or it goes into our storage programs. We can import the goods from Panama, you name it, any country in the world just about is on the list, and there are a handful that aren't, but the vast majority, 100-plus countries, are on the list for importation, and we can handle all aspects of it, including customs broker, receiving of the goods, selling of the goods, delivering, to a program or to you.
Okay, so to clarify, because I get these questions all the time, Joel, I can purchase my precious metals from Miles Franklin. Now, I don't have to take delivery. The metals can go directly into my safe deposit box. Is that correct?
That is correct. You do not have to take delivery. We can ship them there directly for you. Upon being received in the box, we would have the box sealed up, and the key would be shipped directly to you from the Brinks facility.
Okay, now do I receive a ledger of my account holdings along with my keys overnight UPS in the U.S. and or Canada?
You do. You would absolutely receive the original certificate hand-signed by an employee at the facility. The goods would be sealed in the box with your keys along with a little certificate. It has a seal number on it, and that seal number is the actual outside Brinks bag that has been sealed. The certificate is laminated. That way the client knows that their inventory certificate with the seal number is in this sealed bag that hasn't been opened, it hasn't been touched, and clients will get that overnight UPS anywhere in the U.S. or Canada upon it being, sealed in the box within 24 hours.
Okay. Now, Joel, can I go directly to the safe deposit box to make a deposit or a withdrawal from my metals?
You can. You can absolutely bring your goods to either facility in Vancouver or Toronto. Both locations allow an appointment in advance that Miles Franklin would schedule. We would coordinate it with Brinks to allow the client to drop off their metals, seal them in the box, take their key, and additionally seal what they call a security tight seal themselves on the inner portion of the box that they would snap off a portion with a matching number called a receipt, and that little number would be always the same seal on the inside of the box, knowing that this box has never been opened, it's never been drilled, it's never been touched.
Oh, that's awesome. And you mentioned something earlier, and I just want to make sure we're clear on this. My precious metals are insured, correct?
That is correct. They're 100% insured and for replacement value, even to the effect that if your maple leafs cost, maybe $1.99 over spot, that would be part of the insurance policy, meaning, God forbid, something happened, the metals will be replaced at that value at that time, not what you put them in at, but at the time of the loss, God forbid.
I really like all these features here, Joel. Miles Franklin, do they also store my precious metals at a Brinks facility in friendly Canada?
They are both stored through services provided by Brinks at Brinks Toronto and Brinks Vancouver, and both of them are in friendly Canada.
Here's a great feature I really like as well. If I go through this process of having my metals secured through Miles Franklin, I am not in the banking system. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Sure, that's correct. We are not a financial company. The places that these are not stored at are not a financial institution. Financial institutions require accounts and being able to access and withdraw money and take money. We do not have that. We are in the custodial business. These are secured in an armored guard storage facility, and it is outside the banking world.
Awesome. And last but not least, do I hold the only keys to the private safe deposit box for gold, platinum, or palladium?
You would hold the only keys. Once those keys ship to you, both keys are shipped on a little key ring with Miles Franklin. There are no other keys at the facility. If the keys were lost, the client would have to supply directly to the facility a notarized letter authorizing them to drill the box and make new keys. They would have to pay a key fee to have them remade. But the keys are the only keys. This is a single key box. It does not have two keys where the facility has one key and client has the other. Client has the only two keys to the box, and when they want the goods, they can either go there or they can ship them back directly by UPS. Miles Franklin will provide a UPS airway bill to ship back directly to whichever facility they've chosen, and the client can drop it off at UPS, ship their key overnight there for a sale to add more metals or to close their account. Anything can happen, or they can actually go there to the facility.
Okay, now we mentioned gold, platinum, and palladium, but silver, I understand, is fully segregated with my name labeled on the box. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is just, unfortunately, too large to fit in safe deposit boxes within the facilities. Silver does take up quite a bit of space, so it is segregated. Whether a client holds a mint box of maple leafs or eagles with their name on the box, has a label, an account number, a barcode. If they had bars or smaller rounds, they would seal it in a special gray bin with security type seals on either side with serial numbers securing the box. Those security numbers are then written down in a book. They're also entered in the computer system, and they're tracked and followed. And if the box is ever audited or looked at by the client, new seal numbers are entered into the book, so it's always trackable. So the segregated box is always theirs. It doesn't matter what year the metals were or when they put them in. Those are the only metals that will ever be given back.
How much does it cost to have this peace of mind?
So it starts at $39 a month for segregated storage, gold and silver and platinum. If you want a safety deposit box, there's an additional fee in addition to that. It starts at $25 extra in addition. And clients, as an example, could store 480 gold maples in the smallest safety deposit box that we have, which is quite a bit of amount of metals to be able to store in a 3x5 box. We also have a 5x5, a 3x10, which is more referred to as a document-sized box, and they're all 24 deep. And our largest box is 10 by 10 by 24, which could hold several 3,000 to 4,000 ounces of gold. So we offer a wide variety of services, which again begins at $39 a month minimum and can go as high as we have clients who have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 bills, depending on the size of the metals they store.
Well, I tell you, the cost is de minimis to the peace of mind that you really have here. So, Joel, again, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I've been very fortunate, as I mentioned earlier, to have interviewed some of the most respected names in the natural resource space. But I also have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and offline discussions with these names, and almost all of them agree that you have to have some of your holdings outside of your residence. Joel, if an investor wants to get more information, what's the best way to contact you?
Sure, we appreciate that. They could reach us toll-free at 877-685-4705. And again, that's 877-685-4705. Or they could also reach us at info@privatesafedepositboxes.net. And again, that's info@privatesafedepositboxes.net.
Thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable. Remember to like and subscribe for more conversations with the most respected names in the natural resource space. Check out our website at www.provenandprobable.com. The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.